old video. I released it in 2020. There were several comments. Pull this video down. True crime is terrible in ASMR. How could you do this? This video is disgusting. This is gross. You're disrespecting the family, etc., etc. And I was like, well, that's strange. And about an hour later, I don't know, something like that, I get on my Instagram and I have this message. And it was like, hey, just so you know, the family of this person wants you to take your video down. They mentioned on Twitter that the media really sensationalizes true crime and they don't want your video up. And so I'm thinking, is it just my video? Is it all YouTube videos, or is it just specifically me? Because this person, the way that they had worded it, and I know they were not, this person wasn't being mean, they were trying to help me, made it sound like it was just me. So I was like, okay, so I pulled the video. I don't need any more, you know, like hate or anything like that. So I was like, whatever, if the family doesn't like it, I'm totally cool with that. I can't tolerate a bully though, and I am one of those people. My number one philosophy in life is treat people how you want to be treated. Now, many people do not follow that philosophy, or the money or anything like that. I post true crime videos to bring knowledge about these cases to people who might not otherwise know about it. I purposely choose cases that are not well known or well covered in the media to try and bring some knowledge of these people, missing persons, to people who may not have seen the posters or the case in the news. Yes, I do it in an ASMR format, and I do understand it can be upsetting to people who do not get ASMR. I listen to ASMR because I cannot stand loud noises. I can't listen to regular channels or podcasts about anything because it literally makes my brain go crazy. I can only listen to super soft, calm videos, and I do understand that probably seems absolutely crazy to have true crime in that format, but some true crime ASMR artists have upwards of 30,000 subscribers, so it can't just be me that feels this way. I try incredibly hard to find out as much as I can about every single case that I cover. I put in hours and hours of research because they are real people, and I am doing my best to remind people of that. I am in no way comparing my situation to yours, but my mom went missing for 14 hours once, and it was the worst 14 hours of my life. I honestly did not mean any disrespect. I have no problem pulling the video down. As I said, I'm not in it for the money. If that's what it was, I wouldn't be making YouTube videos. Once again, I apologize for any distress I may have caused you or your family. I honestly did not mean to, and I'm so sorry. I was just trying to tell people about your missing aunt, in case anyone knew anything. So this person responded, still nicely. I thought we were doing okay. I understand what you're saying. I have trouble with loud noises as well. I cannot blame you for that in the slightest. Thank you for being respectful when answering me. I still think the ASMR format is disrespectful, but I'll try to be more understanding of people who consume true crime this way. Unfortunately, we haven't had any tip-offs in years, but we do our best to remain hopeful that eventually she or her remains would be found. Have you taken the video down? If not, I know our family would appreciate that. Thank you. And I said, yes, I took it down with the first message I got. I don't want to upset anyone. I didn't need proof it was actually family or anything. If it upset someone, it is gone. They responded, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, when I was getting all that hate, before I got that message, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this anymore. I spend a lot of time researching cases. I spend a lot of time filming, and, the setup isn't cheap, and sometimes it just feels like I don't have enough time in my day, and then to spend time filming things and get all the hate that I get, all the, why are you whispering, what, this is stupid, why are you doing this, oh, I can't listen to you. It's really discouraging. It really, really is. And I am the type of person that I take everything to heart. Stupidly, I always try to please people. I'm a people pleaser, and it hurts my feelings when strangers say rude things to me. And I know that's stupid. I know it's stupid. I know somebody's gonna say something in the comments. I really try. I never should have. I didn't think about that when I started YouTube. It wasn't something that I thought about because I am not that type of person. I don't intentionally go out and say mean things to people I don't know. And so it still completely baffles me that people actually do that. I'm not saying this person, I'm just saying I get so much hate on my channel, and it's like, come on, man, you couldn't find anything better to do. So that Wednesday I was having a really tough, I was like, this is stupid. I got so many messages about what a crappy person I was, because I was like, no, it's not even worth it. And then I talked to Haley and I talked to Letty, and they reminded me why I do this, why we do this, and it is honestly to bring knowledge to these cases. I don't mean any disrespect, and I will be changing my intro to say that I'm just the one that plays at the beginning of the videos, you know, the crickets and the slides. I won't be saying it every video because I really don't like long intros in videos, whether they're ASMR or not. And I also sometimes, Jess from Roots and Refuge Farms said this the best. I really want my videos to be like we're just sitting down having a chat and I'm telling you about this case that I read about. I don't want to be standoffish. I'm not famous. I'm not special. I'm just somebody telling you about this case that I learned about. And I'm doing it in a whisper, which is pretty much what I do at work, only not in a whisper. My coworker and I talk about all sorts of cases. She has recommended so many cases for my channel. She likes to watch Dr. Phil, so I get case recommendations from that. So that is why I had a day where I almost quit YouTube. I almost turned the comments off. I just was really, really anxious about the whole thing. Of course, I don't want to upset people's family members. I don't want to upset anyone. So I was really like, is this honestly beneficial? But I felt this kind of giant hole in my chest when I thought about not having this channel anymore. And I decided that I'm not gonna let one incident make me quit. It is pretty much stopped now, hopefully. If you do see any rude comments on any of my videos, feel free to report them. It does help them get taken down, and I know you guys are into some of the old videos, sometimes more than me. My phone doesn't like to notify me sometimes when stuff like that happens. So let's see. I'm gonna talk about some sad stuff, and then I'm gonna tell you about something extremely exciting that happened to me, that if you follow me on Instagram, you already know about, so sorry about that. Okay, so I don't even know where to start this because you may know and you may not know. So I'm gonna start this at the beginning and hopefully not repeat myself too much. In 2018, my mom got really sick. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital and 2 weeks in 11 days in a rehab facility. And she almost died. I had a distinct conversation with the doctor where she had a patient that was coding and she was running towards my mom's room before she realized that it wasn't my mom that was coding because my mom was that bad. She ended up having to have emergency surgery in the middle of the night. Now, since then, I'm gonna do my best not to cry in this video, y'all. My mom has not been the same. My mother now has stage 6 dementia. And if you don't know what that is, that means we are at the stage where she doesn't recognize us all the time. She is wandering, and she pretty much doesn't remember a lot. So in the past month, we have had quite the exciting time. She lives with my brother, and about a month ago, her wandering got to the extreme where she literally climbed out a window and left the house. At first we were keeping the screen door locked, and then we would keep the storm door locked. Not the storm door, the actual door, the door. We got a chain lock that she couldn't reach. So she figured, I can't go out the door. I'm gonna go out the window. We put a piece of furniture in front of the window, the chair, arms folded, mean mugging the heck out of him. It literally took me, I got home at 4:30. It took me till about 3:45 for me to get her to calm down enough to go to sleep. And like that weekend prior was the very first weekend she didn't recognize me. I told this story on my Patreon, so I'm not going to tell it again, but it was terrible, and there is no words to describe what it is like when your parent looks right at you and doesn't know who you are. It is the worst feeling I can describe. So, ever since she snuck out the window the second time, we took this giant cabinet and we literally had to bolt it to the wall. She has knocked it over a couple times, two times. So we put like eye hooks and zip ties. One day my brother caught her trying to cut the zip ties with a pizza cutter, so that had to be taken away. The morning after, he had to carry her back across the street. She was walking around with a knife trying to protect herself, so those had to be taken away. She puts stuff in the weirdest places. Like, she will put like toast in the dishwasher, like she's toasting it, but it's in the dishwasher. She puts food in the dishwasher like it's the refrigerator, like, oh, here's a bowl of potato salad, the full bowl in the dishwasher. We went over there one day and Sean was like, did you look in the fridge? And I was like, I don't need to look in the fridge. And he was like, no, you need to look in the fridge. And I was like, no, I already know there's something ridiculous in there. I don't need to look in the fridge. I did get in the refrigerator for something else, and there was like a t-shirt, a phone cord, a couple bowls. She keeps taking like the frozen pizzas out and hiding them under the sofa. Dementia sucks, you guys. So after she started to not recognize us, I was like, okay, I've put it off long enough. I have to put her in a facility. It literally breaks my heart to think about my mom in a facility. Like, I never thought this would happen. Ever. I thought she would live to be 102. Before she got sick in 2018, she wasn't on any medicines at all. Now she's on 3. 2 of them are for dementia. One of them is, it's sertraline, so it's like to relax her and stuff like that. It's an anxiety medicine. It doesn't work, just so you know. So I can't remember what I told you guys and what I told Patreon. I switched her primary because they were not helping me. So we've seen this new primary twice. And the last time we were there, I said, we're trying to get her in a facility, because it was the first time she snuck out. It was after the first time she snuck out. And I said, we're trying to get her in a facility. This is what they need. I gave them the list. 2 weeks went by, and they still had not sent everything to the facility. And I was like, dude, I called. Nobody ever called me back. I work with patients every single day. If I didn't call my patients back, I wouldn't have any patients. So finally, they sent everything over to the facility, and I get the girl on the phone, and she's like, yeah, she was denied by the clinical team. And I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, that means that we can't take her. I was like, okay. Now, I was at work, so I wasn't like, wait, why was she denied? Like, I need more information. So, one of my nieces works at this facility, and she texted me, and she said, I'm going to talk to my boss, and I'm going to see why she was denied and see if we can do anything. So she calls me, and she's like, they denied her because her primary put it in her notes that she is hallucinating. And I was like, I'm going to need you to back up. Hallucinating? And she was like, yeah, they said it's in the notes, and that's immediate she called her a general manager. She may have meant office manager. Call you back. So she calls me back. I explain the whole thing. She calls the facility. She calls me back again, and she's like, they just said that the clinical team said she was denied. And I was like, yes, but she was denied because of what you guys wrote. That's not true. What am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know what to do. Basically, we're just screwed. It's the only, no one will help us. No one will tell us what to do. I had the Department of Aging out. They evaluated her and they were like, oh yeah, she needs 24-hour care. We can get insurance to pay for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. And that's great. That's great. Thank you for some respite help. Except for the fact that she freaking loses her mind when people go over there and then leave. She has pulled on the doorknob of the front door so much that it has fallen off of the door. We had to flip the deadbolt around, so my brother has to use a key to open the door. Because she won't stay in the house. What am I supposed to do? Do I just let her wander? Like, what am I supposed to do? I have to work because we have to eat. Like, I don't... It is so frustrating. And this is the worst thing I've ever been through. The worst thing I've ever been through. And, I miss my mom. It's crappy, and my mom was my best friend. And I talked to her about everything. And she's there, and I can hold her hand. And I can talk to her. What she says doesn't make much sense, but I can. But she's just... empty. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. So if you have any ideas, I'll take them. I think we're gonna go to Land of Lincoln lawyer, one who specializes in like elderly care, to see what we can and cannot do. I'm also going to try to, I have to find time to do it, because I'm at work when these doctor's offices are open, get her in with a geriatric psychiatrist, because these people specialize in dementia, so maybe I can get a better handle on what exactly I'm looking at here. Does she need like a psychiatric facility? Does she need a locked dementia? Like, I don't know, and no one will tell me anything, and it is incredibly frustrating to be left in charge when you feel like nobody gave you the manual, because that's where I'm at. And my brother is a great help, and my sister has been giving her showers and stuff. We just don't know what to do, and no one has any answers. So that is why I can't post as much content as I would like. That is why I may seem stressed out a lot of the times. If you want like the full backstory, check out my other ramble videos here on the channel. A lot of them are, the most recent ones are all on Patreon. Just because I don't want to do what I just did and cry or bore you guys with this kind of stuff. But if you're new, maybe you didn't know that my mom has dementia. If you're not new, you've been following along this whole time, and thank you so much for helping me stay sane. Y'all know who you are. So let's see. I am gonna end this video on a positive note, unless I think of something else to talk about. So, 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, Superman was gonna be there. If you're an OG, you watched my Superman curse video ages and ages ago, where I completely gush about how much I love Superman. I could do it again, but we're not going to. Anyway, so I was obsessed with the TV show Smallville, and the lead actor who plays Clark Kent on that show is a man who is one of the most gorgeous beings I've ever seen in my life, and his name is Tom Welling. Now, the very first episode of Smallville I ever watched, I was like, what is this? And I must have missed the beginning of it. If this is how Clark Kent acts on this show, I don't want to watch this. I think I finished the episode. I'm pretty sure I finished the episode. Well, it turned out he had been switched into this other body. It's this episode called Transference. And I will never forget because it was the first episode I watched, and I was like, no, Superman is way nicer than that. At first, I thought I was just obsessed with Tom Welling because he's gorgeous. But then Superman Returns came out with, Brandon Routh. And if you have watched this, you know there's a scene where the bad guy, takes a gun and he shoots at Superman, and the bullet bounces off his eyeball. My God, I thought that was so cool, because I'm so lame. So lame. So then I realized I wasn't just a Tom Welling fan. I am a Superman fan. Superman fan. So of course, I love Henry Cavill. I saw the movies in theaters. I had my hoodie, and I shrieked like a little girl as quietly as I could when he gets the suit. Superman, okay. So, in 2019, 7 cast members from Smallville were supposed to be at Comic-Con in St. Louis. And then COVID happened. So, it was supposed to be June, I can't even remember exactly. It was supposed to be June 10th. And they didn't cancel. 2 days before Comic-Con happened, they moved it. And they moved it to 2021 because I bought the tickets in winter of 2019. So I was like, okay, fine. So they would not refund your money because technically they didn't cancel the show. They just rescheduled it. And then they moved it again, and I can't even remember exactly what happened, but sometime last year, because I of course purchased the meet and greet and the photo and all that stuff, they refunded that money, and I was like, he's not coming. I bought this Comic-Con ticket and he's not even coming. This is the first time he has been, I kid you not, anywhere within 8 hours of me that I know of. I would drive to Chicago, I would drive to Nashville, Kentucky, Kansas City, Indianapolis. He's never been to any of those places because at first he didn't really, it was Smallville was over and he was like, I'm not Superman. And he has since, now that it's been 10 years, has started to embrace this, so I was like, he's not coming, blah blah. I'm so sad. I'm pretty sure I cried. I probably did. I'm a giant wuss. So just casually 2 weeks ago or whatever, I was like, hey Sean, we have those tickets to Comic-Con this weekend, do you want to go? And he was like, sure, why not? And I was like, well, I was going for Tom Welling, but he's not gonna be there. So the night before, I get on the website because I want to see the vendor list to see if there's anything cool that I absolutely have to look at, right? So I didn't have time to stress out about it because I probably would have just made myself freaking nervous wreck. So we get there the next day, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get in line. And Sean was like, you're not gonna shop first? And I was like, no, it's gonna be this stupid long line. I gotta go get in line. I have to meet Tom. So he's like, okay, whatever, have fun. Don't cry. That's what he said. So I go to get in line, and I'm like, well, there's not that many people back here. And as I'm like rounding the curve to get into the line, he gets up, and my stomach drops because I realize, holy crap, that's Tom Welling. He puts on his mask, picks up his backpack, and he walks away. And I'm like, wait for me. So I call Sean, and I'm like, dude, you'll never believe what just happened. So Sean waits. We waited in that area like, I don't know, like 40 minutes. And I was like, okay, whatever, let's go shop. Because we didn't even get there till after 2, because Lucy has to have medicine at 1:30, so we couldn't even leave till 1:30. So we waited in line till, I don't know, like 3:40 or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, let's go shop because this is over at 7, so, you know. And we wander by this little sign that has the photo op times. And I was like, oh, well, that's good to know, because it was not on the website. So he was doing photos at 5 o'clock. So we wander around, we shop a little, and at like 20 minutes to 5, I was like, I'm gonna go get in line for this because I don't want to wait in line forever. So I get in line, and there's this guy behind me dressed as Superman, and he's like, have you done this before? And I was like, no, I've never done anything like this. I did meet Michael Rosenbaum, who plays Lex at the Superman Festival, like 2013. So he's like, it's very fast, like you won't get to talk to him hardly at all. They're just gonna take you in there, and it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, and you're done, and you go. And I'm like, no, I have stuff to say. So that's really exactly how it was. So you walk in this room, and he's standing on one side, and there's plexiglass hanging in the middle, which is stupid because we were like, right, okay, whatever, COVID. So I walk up, and I was like, hi, and he was like, hi, let's pose like this. And so we did like these fists up, like we were trying to be mean, except myself, I was grinning so big. He looks like mean and tough in the photo, and I'm just smiling like an idiot. When they printed the photo out, I was like, oh my god, I'm such a goon. So I'm standing there, like that was it. Like, it was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you take the picture, and you're out. So I'm shaking because I was just in the room with Tom Welling, and I wanted to hug him. And I call Sean, and, you know, I'm like, oh, look at me, I look so stupid. The one picture I get with him, I look stupid. Anyway, so we went shopping a little bit more, and then I decided to get back in line because I'm gonna get this man's autograph, and I'm gonna tell him, like, thank you for giving me Superman, right? So he's over there, I'm in line, I pick the photo I want him to sign, I get up to the thing, and, you know, he's signing my autograph, and I was like, I don't even remember exactly what I said because it's so fuzzy, and I was like, I just want to say thank you. And he kind of looked up at me, and I was like, for giving me Superman. He's gotten me through a lot of stuff in my life. And he was like, well, you know, that's good. He's like, I took it for granted at first, and I was like, you know, kind of looking at him, and he's like, if I could go back, I would do a lot of things differently, which I need to know what you would do differently, Tom. Like, you can't do that to me. And I honestly, it's blurry, I was like, what's your favorite episode? And he says, Transference. And I was like, that's the first episode I ever watched. And so we were like chit-chatting about it. He was like, what's your favorite episode? And I was like, oh crap, here it comes. And I said, my favorite episode is Red. So I know it's stupid, you're probably not even listening anymore. In Smallville, there are different types of kryptonite, and red kryptonite makes Clark lose his filter and like his inhibitions and stuff. So when he puts red kryptonite on, he becomes like the ultimate bad boy, right? Like, he excitement of what is going on in my life right now. I'm still working full time at the moment,